Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, good morning. Happy Monday.
It is Happy Monday. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm ready.
Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you, I am so happy this morning. And for a very special reason.
Why are you happy, Adam?
Because I can drink coffee. Now, apparently it doesn't count. But Mike McDaniel was hired. Now, if you guys aren't curious, Mike McDaniel is the first minority coach this coaching cycle in the NFL to be hired. So, Don Bird, this is to you. If it doesn't count, you can just text me. It's fine. We'll settle somewhere in the middle. Anyways, I want to start the show with what happened this weekend and really all of last week. The Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama, and then, of course, the game on Saturday, I believe. Kenny Pickett shines. Malik Willis just... We'll get to the individual players. Let me put it that way. Having said that, we're joined by Detroit Lions beat reporter for the Woodward Sports Network, Kory Woods. How you doing this morning, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Don't have coffee. Good? I got a black tea.
Yeah. You need it after last week. I mean, the flight delays, I don't even want to imagine the storm.
You know what? I have some good people in a couple of states, so, I was able to be housed by my friend in Charlotte for a night, so I was good.
Yeah, I could never pull that off.
I
have friends in California, on the complete other side of the goddamn country, and nowhere else. Actually, one in Texas, if that counts. So I'm screwed, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. But, Kory, let's get into it. Takeaways, just not only from the game Saturday, but everything leading up to it. Take me through the week at the Senior Bowl. What you noticed in terms of leadership, communication, how the coaches were handling everything, the players, how they were reacting, and what players really stood out to you.
All right, so let's go one by one. The one thing that really stood out to me about the whole Senior Bowl was how overwhelming the experience was. It was my first time going out there, didn't know what to expect from the media-wise, and then also I'm hearing from different reporters that a lot of things were changed due to the COVID regulations. So just going out there and experiencing that for the first time was something in itself. How accessible everybody was really, inviting still, even in this social media, not social distancing, I should say, social distancing world right now. So that was pretty cool. And when you want to talk about guys that stood out as far as leadership, on the field, that's something different we'll get into in a second. But when we're talking about on the dais, when they're speaking and, answering questions, the guy that did stand out to me the most was honestly Malik Willis. Just off of how the demeanor he carried himself. It wasn't an arrogance that he had, but it was a confidence in what he was saying. And one thing that really stood out to me was when I asked him the question. I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but Brad Holmes said that he admired Willis' adversity. Having to sit on the bench at Auburn, then having to go ahead, transfer to Liberty to go ahead and get a shot. And he said he really admired that, how he went ahead and stayed the course. I actually asked Willis that question. What did he think about it? And he just said, you know what? Okay. He didn't brush it off, but it's just like, you know what? Everybody goes through something. Everybody's facing some adversity. I'm just happy that my adversity allowed me to get to this point where I'm at right now. And just hearing that and then hearing him talk on the sidelines during the game, that was just like, you know what? Wherever he goes, whether it's Detroit, whether it's any other team, whoever gets him, whether he becomes a good player, that remains to be seen. But are they going to get a high character, quality locker room guy? Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, I do.
Look, at the quarterback position, that definitely holds weight.
Yeah.
In the Senior Bowl practices, and again, a lot of this is basically, Kory, it's almost essentially 7-on-7 at this point.
Yeah.
Most of the week, not all of it. And I could make the argument, any decent quarterback, you put him in a 7-on-7 position, he's likely he's gonna basically grip it and rip it. I mean, it's not hard. He's gonna have the fundamentals, 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop.
You saw
no
Pickett
issues. But in the game, and again, yeah, Kenny Pickett went perfect, but I'm not even worried about Kenny Pickett. Right now I'm going to focus on Malik Willis. He made some plays, my goodness. You were like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nah, I see it. And he made some throws where you're like, oh, no. And I'm not talking the outcome of the throws.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how he threw the ball, mechanics, how long it takes for him to get the ball out of his hands, how he throws off of his back foot way too often. Now, can those things be corrected by good coaching? Absolutely. And I think we can agree, Kory, project quarterback right now.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a project quarterback. Like I said, if the Lions were to ever go in that direction, or anybody who goes in that direction, unless you need a starter right now, I think it would be good to sit him for a season, let him learn behind somebody, and then maybe year 2, year 3, go ahead and trot him out there and see what he has, because the things that you can't teach, he already has, is that freakish athleticism. You can't teach that. I believe they said at one point throughout the week when he was running, he reached top speed of 21 miles an hour. That's pretty damn crazy.
Yeah.
So like I said, if he were to, just saying, hypothetically speaking, if he were to come here, I would love to see him sit behind Goff for the season, and then next year see what he has. But to that game, he had some throws that were just that looked pretty questionable. But I think it's also the fact that just watching that game, Sam Howell did as well, because on both sides of the ball, there was a bad showing for offensive linemen in that game. None of those guys really had a clean pocket. Defenses were getting after it in that game, and I don't think we really even saw the best from Sam Howell in that game. I mean, there's one guy who really impressed me, Boye Mafe from Minnesota. He went out there and he just caused havoc all throughout the game. He was a menace. I mean, I know Aiden, I'm not trying to elevate him into that Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau range, but that guy really did, I believe, improve his stock because he was a menace out there. So I don't think we really was able to see the best showing out of any of the quarterbacks outside of Kenny Pickett. I mean, he went out there, went perfect, so you can't argue with that. But the rest of those guys, they didn't really have that much of a clean pocket to really show what they can do. But when Willis out there, I will say this: when the pocket was collapsing around him or when they were closing off on him, I liked his awareness and his ability to just, go through his reads. I see I have nothing. I'm going to go ahead and take off.
Kory and Jeff, we talk about this all the time, especially on the show. You got to get the quarterback right. Fair? And I can make the argument when you have the quarterback in the building, everything becomes easier. That doesn't guarantee you success. Don't believe me? Look at the Lions for 12 years with Stafford. But the point is, the Lions are in a position right now, Kory, where if they select a quarterback, let's say Malik Willis at number 2 overall, the clock starts immediately. Now you can say, all right, well, Adam, you're going to sit him for a year. Okay, fine. Let's say I give you the full year to sit him. What are you doing with Jared Goff next year? You going to sit him again? He's got another contract. He's still got one more year after next year. So if you cut him after June 1st, you save a significant amount of money, but you still take the cap hit that year, so it's not like you can go around and spend that money. I don't think this is the year to draft a quarterback. And I am the biggest draft a quarterback, you need a quarterback guy. And look, if Brad Holmes does it, Kory, have my full support. No problems with it. But isn't it funny how we're in the complete opposite situation than we were 8 years ago, where you needed an O-line, you needed a defensive front, but you had the quarterback, you had the weapons. You need a wide receiver now. It's a complete different scenario. And look, I have been one of the harshest critics on Jared Goff, Kory. But the guy can play quarterback. He's average. I'm not saying he's great, but he's average.
He's average.
And you can win 9-10 games with average.
He's average to good, yeah.
You can win 9-10 games with average with a really good roster and really good coaching. Multiple teams can do that. Case Keenum won 13 games in the NFL.
Titans.
It can happen. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
But Kory at number 2, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I think number 2 is incredibly high. Incredibly high. I believe that if they want to trade, if they were to trade back, get a lot of draft capital, and then, take him and somebody else, okay, fine. See what you can get, but I believe taking him at number 2 is just, it's too risky. There are other guys that if you want to go ahead and go in that direction and draft a QB, they will be there available probably in the, second round, third round. Go ahead and go pick those guys. I mean, it's not really the greatest quarterback class this year, so I don't think that drafting a quarterback is a necessity. But if you're able to go ahead and get a nice deal where you're trading back a couple of spots, maybe getting multiple picks, then you're able to draft the guy that you really want, and then also somehow steal Willis, then, okay, you know what? I can stomach that. But at number 2, I just think it's, I know they say get the guy you want if he's there, but you also have to be smart.
I'm a big believer in that.
And 2 for Willis is just, for me, incredibly high. But also, I'm not a GM.
I'll tell you why I'm a big believer in that, and I have no problem with it. Even if it's too high, and I agree it's too high, and I'm sure Jeff does as well. I'm okay with it because when you make that decision, Kory, I can hold you accountable. That is the biggest thing. How often do GMs get to draft a quarterback? How many chances do they usually get? Once.
Well, usually once, yeah.
Usually one chance. And there's the outliers, the Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen situation. Happens. But usually it's one opportunity to get the quarterback right. And when you have the quarterback, and let's say it's a consensus in the building, Malik Willis is the guy, well, damn it, you got to go for him. Even if I don't agree, it does not matter. You go for that guy. I don't have to like it, but I can start holding you accountable starting, when's the draft?
April 28th, I want to believe.
So on the 29th, I can start holding you accountable. It's that simple. So you got to make that move. If you believe in him, you got to make that move. And if you trade back, again, you don't control the board.
That's the other thing.
The less you control the board, the less you control teams that are going to move up. Let's say you trade back and get the 5th and 7th pick. Okay, then what? Who's going to be at 5? Thibodeau? Doubt it. Stingley? You really going to draft a corner? Kyle Hamilton likely gone by then.
Likely, very likely gone.
So who are you grabbing at 5 that you're going to love? Devin Lloyd? Okay, take a linebacker at 5. Or take Malik Willis at 5 and a linebacker at 7. No guarantee the linebacker will be there at 7. It's the NFL, man.
It's a risk. Who knows if even the Lions get that scenario, but it's definitely a risk. But, again, as you said, if you love a guy, take him when you have the chance to take him. Just me thinking, I'm like, man, Willis at number 2, you're basically telling me, like, you know what, this is going to be the face of the franchise eventually, and Goff is going to be on his way out the door. But I will say one thing that is pretty interesting is that when Brad Holmes, and I'm really big on words, whether people want to say I'm reaching into it or not. Brad Holmes, to me, when he was talking to the NFL Network about this upcoming draft and talking about Jared Goff, he didn't sound as committal as he did previous times he's talked about Goff. He talked about Goff saying, yeah, he played, he was shaky to start the season, and then, he played well towards the end, but Goff knows that he has to come into this season ready to compete. I'm like, compete? Compete for what?
Kory, could I make the argument with John Dorsey in the building and Brad Holmes as the GM that what the Lions actually end up doing is staying put at number 2, trading up mid-first round, drafting Willis, similar to the Patrick Mahomes situation, sitting him for a year, and still being able to put pieces around him, and then year 2, let it rip and move off of Jared Goff?
I think that would be more likely because, maybe you can package that second first-round pick and then somewhere in the second-round pick, and, that was a tongue twister. Package their second pick in the first round and then a second-round pick. Maybe you can go ahead and move up and grab Willis. I think that would be more likely than them trading out of number 2 because one of those edge rushers are going to be there.
Somebody's going to give up a lot.
And the
problem they're going to have to get one.
If you're trading up for Willis, who you have to trade in front of?
Yeah, so
who wants him? Who's falling in love with him?
And there's also that. I will say this, like on the back end of that draft, I'm just looking at it. There are a lot of teams that already have their quarterback in place. So there could be, I don't know what the trade will look like, but there could be a chance for them to trade up and get him. But trading out of number 2,
that's tough.
That's going to be tough.
Look, honestly, I don't mind it. I can see it playing out the way they want it to. Having said that, mechanics can be fixed. Ability to release the ball quicker, sure, you can work on it a little bit. Josh Allen got so much better compared from his rookie year up until now in terms of release.
Yeah.
But, man, it's a project. It is a project. You're not getting Joe Burrow right out of college.
Absolutely not.
You're not getting even, I could argue, Trevor Lawrence.
And not even Mahomes out of a resting year, maybe.
But that's what you're going to probably end up doing with Malik Willis, to be honest. You're probably going to have to sit him a whole year.
And you know what? I would definitely love that. You get whether you want him to really learn from Goff or not, he's able to still watch a consummate professional out there on the field, get it done. And then you're also going to have a year with Mark Brunell, learning from him. Mark Brunell's already been pretty high on the guy. We've seen already what he's said about him. It's been gushing over him. So we'll see what happens. But, even like from from Brad Holmes to Mark Brunell, Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, multiple times. They're trying to hide their excitement over Willis, but they're doing a horrible job of hiding it. I mean, they've been gushing over the dude.
Well, if they're doing a horrible job of it, they're probably going to take him number 2.
No.
Well, we got to go to break. When we get back, which quarterbacks were you most impressed with
Yep.
at the Senior Bowl? But before we go, Jeff, could you please tell us about Guardian Alarm?
I can. Well, we talk about all the talent in the defensive class this year. I'll bring one up for you. Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm gets it. Good defense on and off the field. Helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has all the state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features to let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800 Stay Out today.
Out.
You heard Fish. That's 800 Stay
Out.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping
Get
families
the hell
safe.
out.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets, daily on Woodward Sports.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
All right. Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Kory's staying in-house. I'm excited. Kory, Kenny Pickett obviously was perfect. But let's talk about the quarterbacks. Who impressed you the most? Not only, forget the game, just a whole week.
Besides Malik.
In terms of communication, ability to, because we saw a lot of talk on Twitter. Everybody was supporting Malik Willis at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting behind him. Who impressed you the most?
Well, you took away that, Willis from me, so I'll go after that. But Zappy from, that guy, he looked pretty good. I wasn't really, I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that much about him.
Yeah, you just do 62 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
You're
I'm just
like,
like,
what
I just see
the
that, like, oh, okay. that's pretty good. No matter where you go to school, that's pretty good.
pretty damn
And
good.
his agent, Nicole Lynn, Clutch Sports, president of football operations, she also posted like, hey, basically don't sleep on my guy. And we saw it. I believe he went 8 for 13 out there.
Got over 100 yards.
Outside of all the quarterbacks on the American team, he fared the best out of them. So, with him and Kenny Pickett, I think that they were, of that day, clearly had the best day.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the one that stood out the most was Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. He's the most
The
ready to play.
small hands thing,
That's just
I don't even
Who cares?
honestly, that is the least of my concerns with a quarterback. I thought he could stand in the I thought from watching just the bowl game itself, all right? The Senior Bowl itself. The guy that looked most competent and comfortable in the pocket, Kenny Pickett.
100%.
especially on that first drive, he had a couple of when they were backed up in the end zone, he had that little jump pass, and then he went back up there and threw it on the rope to the tight end from Wisconsin. I'm like, okay, small hands or not, this guy is just he looked like a pro.
Yeah.
He looked like out of all the quarterbacks out there, if you're talking about like a day one starter, to me, Kenny Pickett looked like a day one starter.
And when you look this is just what I like to do. Doesn't have to be, you guys don't have to share it, it's fine, but this is what I like to do when I evaluate a quarterback. And I like to watch him play. And I ask myself so many questions, but the main one, do I see that working on Sunday? Malik Willis' scramble, running to the right 20 yards and then cutting back over the middle of the field, you would have been murdered in the NFL doing that. But regardless of the point, I try to see things that can be replicated on Sunday. Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback, outside of maybe Bailey Zappi 1 or 2 times, that stepped up in the pocket and delivered throws.
And ironically, they both had the cleanest pockets to me the entire afternoon. I mean, those guys barely got touched.
And that's really a quarterback thing. See, Jared Goff, for example, could make your offensive line look a lot better or worse, depending on the game he's having. Now, if he's quick releases, getting a full, if he's fully in the zone, understands the coverage, knows where to go, read 1, read 2, read 3, he understands what's going on. Oh, your offensive line, even if they're struggling, everything will be okay because he's getting the ball out. He's stepping up the pocket. He's maneuvering.
Yep.
And with Malik Willis, what I saw was a tendency to break out of the pocket and either turn left or right and then throw, instead of maybe taking one step left, one step right, moving up and delivering a strike.
Second reaction.
And again, that can be, you can teach that. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But those are the things I notice. And do I see Malik Willis starting for the Detroit Lions in fall? No. Hell no. None of those quarterbacks, honestly, outside of Kenny Pickett, to me,
I agree.
Yeah.
looked NFL ready.
No.
Yep.
So that was my biggest takeaway. I try to see, does it work on Sunday?
I think also too with Malik, I don't even think like even with him, not just Malik but Sam Howell. Again, I want to go back to. I don't think they had the opportunity to really show what they could do in the pocket because their protection just like as soon as they snapped the ball, their protection just broke down. So it seemed like both of them were just really trying to improvise a lot as opposed to being able to just really go through their reads and make a true play. Willis's athleticism is really what shined the most because when the pocket broke down, he was able to go out and still make some type of play. But I didn't really get a chance to see him as what he can do in the pocket. We saw him make a couple of throws, but again, hurried on the run, under pressure.
Right.
I mean, for me, and Jeff, I would really like your input on this one. When I look at a quarterback, there's so many things that you can't predict. And Kory, we talked about this 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Why do so many teams miss on quarterbacks? And it's that just something about them you can't evaluate. Something up here. It's the reason why Brady has 7 rings and Aaron Rodgers has 1. Even though one is much more talented than the other, but one is smarter, works harder, etc. I don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
Why do they work and not a Marcus Mariota, a Jameis Winston, who have supreme arm talent, right? They come out of college looking good. Yep. Why don't they work? And again, when I look at this class, man, and number 2, I'm not comfortable.
No.
And I've been as open as I can be about this. Now, if you want to trade up for him, I would do that with caution because you still need a linebacker.
Yep.
You still need a wide receiver. You still need likely an edge rusher if you don't take one at number 2. So there are so many holes on this team. Is Malik Willis the guy that can come in and overcome everything around him? I don't think there's a quarterback in this draft outside of Kenny Pickett that maybe can do it. So, again, when we're talking about the number 2 overall pick, which of these quarterbacks impressed the most? I thought they all had their moments. Sam Howell, we saw him score on that quarterback keep in the red zone.
Looked pretty good.
That was nice. Showed off his athleticism. Hey, not bad. They call him a tight end quarterback.
You know what? They made a really interesting comparison with him, and I could not put my finger like, who does he remind me of? And then they said it. They said he's like a heftier Baker Mayfield.
Oh, God.
And
I knew
I'm
that
like,
was coming out of your mouth, too.
Oh, I got the Glock in the
felt
car.
it coming.
I got the Glock in the car. Don't worry.
I'm like, you know
telling
what?
you.
And I'm like, you know what? He looks like a well-behaved Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Similar size.
Similar, just off of the size. Maybe they won't have. Hopefully, they don't have the same accuracy in the NFL. But just off of just look and build and size, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's like he's built like Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hard pass on Baker. When we posted that tweet about Baker in a Detroit Lions uniform, I was ready to delete my Twitter account.
That
was an insult. And listen, this
that's
fan
an
base
insult
has
to
been through
Jared
enough.
Goff.
Yeah, that you'd want.
I don't even know where to go with that, to be honest.
And that's not even so there's that.
All right, well, look, before we head to break, I do want to touch on one more thing about the quarterback situation. Kory, the Lions, I'm not going to be the guy that says you have to do this, okay? If they want to take Malik at number 2 or any quarterback for that matter, hell, Kenny Pickett, be my guest. No problem. Explain to me, guys, what is next for Jared Goff? He's got 2 years left. Next year, and 2024 is his last year. 2024 is his last year. You cut him after June 1st, Kory. You save $26 million. You take the cap hit, but you're saving the $26 million. What do you do with Jared Goff if you draft a quarterback this year? Again, at number 2. I'm not talking about if they trade up. I'm not talking if they fall at 31. If you take him at 2, are you going to sit him for a year? Jeff? You sit Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett at number 2?
Yeah, you got to.
You have to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jared Goff comes off, and so yeah, you got another year of Goff. Because we see right here he has this year he's owed. This year,
$31 million, I believe.
Yeah, so his contract comes off the book with the Lions, and we have a potential out after this season, out, but man,
it was always a minimum 2 years of Jared
Yeah,
Goff.
minimum, yeah. So here's my thing. Depending on how Goff does this season, that would if they were to draft Willis, that would make my decision right there. If Goff comes out anything under 7 wins, 6-7 wins, I'm like, okay, might be time to go ahead and cut bait. Get him out of here. But if he goes out there and he gets, let's just say hypothetically speaking, he goes out there.
One of the easy schedules in the NFL this year, Kory.
Yeah, so
this is a tough year for the Detroit Lions.
So let's say he goes out there and he gets, get you 8-9 wins. Who knows? Maybe I'm just saying, maybe even a 10. Maybe something magical happens and they get a playoff berth and you got Willis on the bench.
Well, you're still gonna move on from him.
You're still gonna move on, but at
Alex
least
Smith project.
Yeah,
that's what I see. I really do. Not because John Dorsey's in the building. But you know what? The roster's starting to come together. You have an offensive line. You're just missing weapons, a defensive edge rusher, a linebacker, and a safety. Realistically. I mean, if we're all honest here. And to be honest with you, we're going to get to this later on in the show. I believe 9:40. There's one player I'm looking forward to in 2022 that will be coming back off from an injury that I'm really curious to watch. And honestly, I'm rooting for the kid. And that'll probably be, I'm sure you all know, Jeff Okudah. Mm-hmm. But that also is a question that will go unanswered until he steps on the field. How does that affect their draft strategy?
Yeah, we still have not even really. That's still a question mark right there with Okudah and that one.
And if he comes back and he's a viable option, great. Your team got better. There's nothing wrong with that. We'll have to wait and see. We got to go to break. When we get back, how in the hell did we end up with Super Bowl 56? The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. We're going to discuss how these teams got here, the key off-season moves, mid-season trades, signings, whatever it may be. We'll get to that. But before we go, Jeff, could you tell us about Cintron?
Yeah, listen. Well, I don't have Cintron by me, so you guys are going to have to drink to that. And number 2, Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, you know who to call. Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at CintronWorld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10. Save 10% with shipping included. Remember, drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, it's the week of the Super Bowl. How did the Bengals and Rams get here?
I love the dynamic between these two teams because you have one team that probably took the most ideal approach, an approach that really can't be mimicked, and it's hard to mimic it, and that's the Bengals. They they hired a young, innovative guy in Zach Taylor from the Los Angeles Rams organization, and although they were losing games before Joe Burrow, they got Joe Burrow, they landed him, number 1 overall, and I mean, coincidentally, to their benefit, they lost Joe Burrow in that first season with an ACL tear, and it almost helped him again because they landed Jamar Chase, his go-to wide receiver at LSU, one that he established a very good connection with. So it all kind of worked out into their favor. Once they drafted Joe Burrow, they also drafted T. Higgins. Once they acquired those 3 core players, they already had Joe Mixon, and they built that veteran defense around him. So that's a way to approach it, of course. Now, Joe Burrow, those guys don't fall off trees, so if teams want to mimic it, very hard to do. I think the Rams is probably the more popular approach, especially if you have a winning organization already. The Rams, they didn't need to do what the Bengals did. The Bengals needed to go out and sign winning players. They signed Trey Hendrickson from the Saints. They signed Von Bell from the Saints. Winning organizations, which is something I can respect. I mean, if you're a general manager, you're trying to change the culture around your team. You go out, you draft Joe Burrow, you draft T. Higgins, you draft Jamar Chase, and then you sign veterans that come from winning cultures. Now, the Rams, they didn't necessarily need to do that. They signed Odell. Didn't come from a winning culture. Von Miller didn't come from a winning culture the last couple of years. He won, of course, but now they get those guys, and they already have a winning culture. Matthew Stafford didn't come from a winning culture. They got him. They acquired him for 2 first-rounders. So their approach is probably the more popular one. But both of these teams, the dynamic between them, especially, you can't forget the Bengals, of course, they have Evan McPherson, a cold-blooded kicker who's kicked nearly multiple straight game-winning field goals. I think he already beat the Titans. He beat obviously they stopped the Raiders in the last minute of the game, so he didn't have to win the game there. But he beat the Titans. He beat the Chiefs. And, of course, they also beat other teams. So, yeah, they have clutch kickers. They went through the draft. They built their team. And you have a guy in Zach Taylor who's worked. Obviously, if the head coach, they had to find out this year, and they went 10-7, one of the toughest divisions in football. So, although you like to say, yes, the Lions, you like to mimic a Cincinnati Bengals, that's tough, man. And we're trying to figure out, number one, Dan Campbell. I have a lot of belief in Dan Campbell. We're trying to figure out if he's the guy. The Bengals did that this year. They went 10-7. Now they realize, all right, Zach Taylor can coach. We have our quarterback, and we always talk about how important getting your quarterback is. And I don't know if Jared Goff is going to be the reason we know Dan is a great head coach, but you got to build a team for us to really evaluate Dan and build a roster in which the Bengals did and went out and signed guys from winning cultures. And maybe you can mimic it, but it's hard to do. They both did
at 9 o'clock,
good.
we'll get to the side of, the Cincinnati Bengals have done it. Mm-hmm. Well, does this mean the Detroit Lions can do it? We'll get to that at 9. But look, man, when I look at the Bengals, sometimes, the old saying, you don't appreciate something until it's gone.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I feel about the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'll tell you why. This has never been done before. This is not something you look up on Google and say, oh, wow, look. A team that does this every 3-4 years typically gets to a Super Bowl. This isn't some common data point in the history, the 56 years of the Super Bowl era. This is not a thing. A quarterback taken number 1 overall has never been to an AFC title game in their first 2 years. Just in general, a title game in their first 2 seasons. Joe Burrow has done it. No number 1 overall pick has ever gotten to a Super Bowl in their first 2 years. Joe Burrow has done that. Along with Zach Taylor, who year 1, they go 4-12. Year 2, Burrow gets hurt midway into the year. It's basically a tank job after that. They grab Jamar Chase at 5. And in really Joe Burrow's first full season and Zach Taylor's first full season with a competent quarterback, a good roster, they get all the way to the Super Bowl. That is not a thing. That is not how it works. That is a fairy tale. That is an anomaly. That is a data point that we'll all look at years from now and say, how'd they pull that off? How'd they get through the Chiefs? How'd they get through an AFC that had Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, in a division with Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski? How? For me, it's a data point that I hope we come to appreciate with time. Because what they're doing this year is unbelievable. It is beyond not only expectations, it is beyond the common sense, logic, whatever you want to use. And then, of course, we have the Rams. The Rams who, in the offseason, made the big trade. They traded for Matthew Stafford, right? 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick. Jared Goff. Goodbye, go to Detroit. Give us Matthew Stafford. We feel we are a quarterback away. Boy, do you put a big target on your back when you make that kind of trade. And all offseason, the talk is about Matthew Stafford in L.A., Sean McVay, the bromance, the communication level. Sean respects his quarterback more so than he ever did with Jared Goff. He feels like he's talking to somebody at his level. All the talk going into the year. Cam Akers goes down. They start the season off on the right note, beat the Bears. They beat the Bucks early on, and then they lose Robert Woods at some point in the season right after, I believe, signing Odell Beckham. And Odell Beckham for, Jeff, 4, 5, 6 weeks? Yes, he's catching touchdowns, but he's not an impact player on offense, realistically. He's still learning the playbook. And what happens? Week 16, 17, 18, they turn a corner. Yes, they lost some games, but they turned a corner offensively. It looked like they really were starting to get a full playbook out there, especially with OBJ on the field. Come playoff time, Arizona, they handle business. They beat Tampa Bay in thrilling fashion. And then they make another fourth quarter comeback against the Cardinals. Or, excuse me, the Niners. Whew. Talk about a run. They've been on a run. They have the quarterback that has had the highest, and I would say the best fourth quarter numbers across the board in the NFL, both regular and postseason. That's their quarterback that they traded for. And, Jeff, I know we disagreed on this subject, but going into the title game, we had a conversation who was under more pressure. Stafford or McVay. And I made the McVay argument, and I want to bring it back up for this reason. McVay called Stan Kroenke and said, Stan, we need to do this. Fish, shut the hell up. Stan, this is our guy. We're going to give up a lot of picks for this. You need to be on board. You good? He's about to board a plane. Stan signs off. Snead and Sean make the deal. The rest is history.
Don't listen to him, Sean.
Fish, shut the hell up. I don't care about Stan Kroenke and your Arsenal problems.
It's not just
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Talk about football right now, Fish.
He owns the Avalanche, the Rapid, Colorado Rapid.
Good, he has money. Good for him.
I know he owns that.
Nobody cares about
Do you see what
English
those
football.
franchises are doing?
Good. I
Taking.
hope Arsenal burn to the ground, and I hope England never play another freaking kick of football.
Well,
I don't care.
That's kind of mean.
Soccer. Anyways. That's the deal they made. That is the deal they made, Jeff, and why they were under pressure this year. Wasn't the conversation before the playoffs? They better at least win a game.
Yeah.
You traded for Stafford, right? They're in the Super Bowl right now. I mean, they've gotten to where they've wanted to get back to with Stafford. You had him for 2 years, sure, whatever. I don't care what the contract is. The point is, you traded for him so you can get back to this position.
Yep.
Now, do you want to win it? Of course. That's a whole different conversation. But how these teams got here, to me, are two complete polar opposites. And it's amazing. I have a data point, an anomaly, a flash point in time in the Cincinnati Bengals that I have not seen in my lifetime. And it's never happened in NFL history. That is the Cincinnati Bengals. And then I have a team that for 6, 7, 8 years now has been foregoing all their first-round picks, going all in, win now, good defensive players, star players, attitude players, if you would consider them, Jalen Ramsey, Odell Beckham, they all fall in line. Why? Because the two best players on that football team, Matthew Stafford and Aaron Donald, are the hardest working players, and it's easier to buy in. The fact that I have two polar opposite teams, two polar opposite storylines all week, I can't tell you how excited I am. It is unbelievable. And it shows you there are multiple ways to be successful in the NFL, to draft, to coach. There are a plethora of varieties. And may I add this morning, just for the sake of adding it, because I think it's relevant, Mike, we talk about the Andy Reid coaching tree. What about the Mike Shanahan coaching tree? What about all the people that mocked Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan back in Washington when Kyle was reportedly bringing in his best friends? Well, his best friends are currently in the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
And the other one just got a job out in Miami.
Yep.
Not bad. I wish my three best friends were that competent. Unbelievable. So much to talk about this week leading into the game. But I hope we understand, just for this one moment in time, just how different these teams are and how they got here. The Rams' success for a long period of time, right, under Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Never had a losing
winning
season.
organization.
Winning. That's all you associate with Sean McVay less need in the Rams right now. Winning. The Cincinnati Bengals,
they want to get there.
Under Marvin Lewis, they were winning divisions. They were getting to the playoffs. Yeah. But then they had to go through a rebuild.
Yep.
And then Zach Taylor had a losing record his first 2 years. But you never got to see Zach Taylor with a good roster and a quarterback for 1 year, just so you can evaluate him and say, hey, what's his ceiling? Oh, wow, he takes us to the Super Bowl that year. Really? That is, if they would have won the division, Jeff, won a playoff game, that would have been enough to re-sign Zach Taylor for 5 years.
Definitely.
Minimum. He gets them to the Super Bowl. It is unbelievable, Jeff. How what do I make of all this?
It's tough, and I think the anomaly is important of talking about the Bengals because, listen, and I want to ask you an interesting question. Let's say Burrow doesn't tear his ACL, and let's say Burrow plays the entire...
I don't think they make the Super Bowl.
Good! I was hoping you'd say it. Because then, what if they won
don't get
7
Jamar
games?
Chase.
They don't get Jamar Chase unless they
get
trade
Jamar
up,
Chase.
but who knows about
I
that? If I have a chance to take Jamar Chase, I ain't giving you the pick. I'm taking him.
Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of the hypothetical, but it's
crazy. That's where our point is. It's an anomaly. You have to bank on Joe Burrow tearing his ACL to get where
the
they
Niners. Why'd the Niners get to the Super Bowl a few years ago? They weren't a complete roster at the time. Mm-hmm. Jimmy G and Kittle go down, and basically 80% of their salary cap was injured that year.
Yeah,
they draft Nick Bosa. They get the edge rusher, completes their team. They make a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You need some luck, too, in the NFL.
You do.
The Rams needed to luck out to Aaron Donald at, 14, 13?
Yeah.
You need some luck sometimes. The Lions needed luck to get Calvin Johnson. Thank God they took Jamarcus Russell. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank God.
Sam Bradford, thank you. Rams, thank you very much. We got Ndamukong Suh. Thank you. You need luck sometimes. And the Bengals just hit.
They did.
For 2 straight years. They hit. The Chargers. Look at the Chargers. They fell. Herbert fell to them at 7.
In their lap, yeah.
Into their lap after they had drafted Bosa, Darwin James, then Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater next. You need some luck, too, in the NFL, but you got to position yourself somewhere along those lines. Instead of, we're losing every year. We're losing every year. The Bengals are an anomaly, yes, that is important. But it shows you there are so many different ways to win in the NFL, and anything is possible. That is the beauty of the NFL. Mm-hmm. Maddie?
All right, guys, we got to go to break. But when we come back, we're talking about some changes to the Michigan coaching staff. But first, we need to hear about Gypsy Vodka.
Ooh, Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest tasting vodka on the market right now. Locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Guys, give it a try. It's gluten-free Michigan's vodka. That's Gypsy Vodka. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and as always, please drink responsibly.
Everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah. Take it up to the top, everybody never stop. Make it loud, make it real, let them know that we're here with everybody. Yeah, everybody, yeah.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, I think there's been a little bit of shakeup here at Michigan ever since Harbaugh decided he was staying. We've got another coach now leaving to go to Miami to take an offensive coordinator position. What are your original thoughts on this?
Can I ask you something? And this was the weirdest thing to me. With Josh Gattis, obviously the last couple of weeks has been really weird at Michigan. With Jim Harbaugh going to that Minnesota interview during signing day, and now Gattis almost taking, in my opinion, a lateral job, going to Miami to be their OC, and sending the text to the players. And I'll read the text off. People have already seen it. Unfortunately, the past few weeks have told a different story to me about the very little appreciation I have here from the administration. In life, I would never advise anyone to be where they are not wanted. And listen, you could talk about the professionalism of the text to us all as players, but I think the text does speak, some volumes about how not just Josh Gattis, but I think the staff for Jim Harbaugh was kind of feeling with the communication, because there was the talk of Harbaugh possibly bringing Weiss when he went, if he were to go to the NFL, of course, and what staff were going to the NFL, what staff were staying and not being brought. So with Gattis taking this move, listen, you should be inclined to do anything you want in your professional career. If he wants to go to Miami and be an OC, so be it. I just think the text was a little interesting, and it does speak a lot, but to me, it's the weirdest part is taking a lateral job and going to Miami. Like, it's not like he went to Alabama or he went to somewhere else.
Who the hell
Miami.
is Josh Gattis?
That's a good. I mean,
isn't that the guy that came from Alabama that was supposedly going to turn Michigan into a spread offense? And like the jackass he is, he actually went back to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan way this year, and that's when they found success. Isn't that funny? Okay, first of all, advice to all of you. I agree with what Josh Gattis said. If you're not appreciated by your employer, get the hell out. I have no issue with that. Moving on. You're mad that Jim Harbaugh was pursuing an NFL job?
Or he's
really?
maybe mad they didn't consider him for head coach?
You were upset that you weren't going to be the replacement?
Yeah.
Why the hell should I hire you as the replacement?
1 year as an offensive coordinator.
Tell me why.
It's tough.
Why? Give me one reason. Can you recruit well? Are you a good communicator? I mean, I don't know that. I'm not behind the scenes. I'm not in the locker room. I don't talk to him every day.
Experience was probably the issue to me.
What kills me most is, okay, go to Miami. I don't even care at this point. But the fact that we're making it out to be that Michigan is falling apart. The assistants are ready to riot against Jim. Shut the hell up. You just see stuff, and it makes you angry. All the Michigan reporting this weekend just pissed me off. That's why I was off Twitter. It's like, you guys are a bunch of idiots. Stop overreacting. Let him go to Miami. Who cares? You can go find... There are a ton of OCs right now, either at small, medium, good programs. Doesn't matter where.
Maybe in-house.
That would love to take the jump up and go be the OC at Michigan. They will not struggle finding someone to come to Michigan.
Yeah.
That will not be an issue of that, I can guarantee. This is not the end of the world.
I think
Howard's Michigan. If Michigan can't keep their assistants, Jeff, how are they ever going to go back to the college football playoff?
I think Mike McDonald's probably the one that shook me a little bit.
He went back to the NFL. Yeah, I don't blame him.
But of course, I'm saying, like, if you had to pick, like, who are you more worried about losing? It's like clearly Mike McDonald.
Obviously McDonald.
It's like that's the one you're crapping your pants over.
What a coincidence. Mike McDonald joins the staff. The defense gets better. They have the best statistical year on defense since, year 2 of Don Brown and Jim Harbaugh? Mm-hmm. Even though that was a fake defense. But whatever. We'll look past it. He comes in. They win the Big Ten championship. Whoa, what a surprise. They held Ohio State to 28 points? Oh, Josh Gattis did a great job. Yeah, those 3-yard underneath routes to Eric All against Penn State, yep. Those will get the job done, right? The reporting is what's pissed me off more than the whole story itself. I could care less. Josh Gattis, you want to go to Miami with Cristobal? Go, have fun. Mm-hmm. Go try to build that program. Be my guest. Be my guest. But let's not make it more than what it is. The Michigan program is falling apart this morning, Maddie. It's falling apart. What's next for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan? Are they going to recover? Shut the hell up. Oh, my God. I get a headache sometimes from listening to people. Jeff, Michigan are going to be fine. Now, I don't know if you guys pay attention to Twitter often, but Andrew Anthony came out with a nice tweet. I don't know if you guys caught it. Jeff, did you see it?
What was the tweet?
From Andrew Anthony, number 1.
I did not see that.
Wide receiver.
What did he
number
tweet?
1, Michigan freshman this year, going into his sophomore year. I'm going to read it to you. Ready for this?
Let's see it.
This was interesting. Again, I don't know from who, what, where, why. I don't care really. But he said, "Oh my God, our next move is in capitals. Crazy. Stay tuned." Now, obviously, everybody commented on that Twitter post and said, "Oh my God, Tom Brady's going to be the OC." I don't think that's going to happen.
God.
But I'm telling you, if you don't think a B+, A- OC out there isn't willing to take the jump or maybe move laterally to Michigan, you're crazy.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
They'll be just fine. Donovan Edwards. An always, I would say, good to very good offensive line year in and year out.
An attractive quarterback, in my opinion.
An attractive quarterback.
In my opinion.
Michigan will be fine, Jeff.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
I completely agree. Would you... So, obviously, you could care less about the whole narrative of Jim Harbaugh possibly pissing off the assistants after all these last couple weeks. Are you just kind of like, listen, Josh Gattis...
I'm just so tired of people complaining. If Jeff goes in interviews, I don't know, let's say FS1. What am I going to see here? I don't like the way I was appreciated in the building. I'm going to go work down the street at the station. How could you do this to me? The people here didn't make me feel appreciated enough?
That's exactly. No,
The hell is this?
Yeah, I know.
Grow the hell up. It's called business. You get paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, to be working in the world and the field you're working in. You don't like that Jim Harbaugh? Oh, wait, I don't even think it's a Jim Harbaugh problem. You don't like the fact that the AD wasn't giving you signals that you were going to be the replacement if Harbaugh left. Really? So that's the problem. Okay, fine. Why don't you look in the mirror and ask yourself, well, you know, let me look at myself in the mirror. Hey, Josh, why didn't they consider me? What are the reasons? Am I not a good communicator? Do they not see me as a good recruiter?
Just look at himself.
What are my issues? And if you have issues, great. If you don't, okay, fine. Be pissed and leave. I don't care. But to make it out like Michigan's falling apart and they don't know what they're doing at the top, relax. Holy hell. Relax. I feel like Aaron Rodgers right now. Relax. It's not the end of the world. They will get a very good OC minimum. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Jesus Christ. The guy spent 3, 4, 5 years here? The spread offense coming soon. You didn't find success till you actually went back to the 1960s way of playing football. And you could never recruit to where you could even implement that kind of scheme.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Like, that was their personnel. It was weird. Listen, Gattis, and this doesn't really surprise me a whole lot. Like, if you look all around college football, yes, coordinators leave and take multiple different OC or rather their defensive coordinator, different positions. And maybe eventually, you know, you look at Josh Gattis. He didn't get the Duke job. He didn't get the Virginia job. So what makes you think he was going to get the Michigan job? Listen, that was my pick. But in reality, I mean, if you're, Ward Manuel, if you're looking at Josh Gattis, this is a move that I'm fine with. So for him in his career, I think Michigan is going to be just fine. They'll find a new OC. Like someone pointed out in the chat, Alabama's finding a new OC. This happens in college football. I think just the way he sent the text to the players, I think it's interesting. But did he need to do it? Probably not. But he knew he would get out. I mean, he ain't fooling nobody.
I mean, dude,
he knew this would get out.
Get everybody up in assembly. Go bring them into a hall. Talk to them. Hey, guys, I just want to tell you to your faces, I'll be leaving. I'm done. I'm taking the job in Miami. I want to thank all of you for allowing me to coach you the way I have all these years. To all the freshmen, sophomores, best of luck in the futures. I wish you all well. I'll leave you with this piece of advice. If you're not appreciated by your employer, leave. Now, on that note, I'd like to thank the University of Michigan for the opportunity to be the OC for the last few years. But listen, it's okay to disagree and not fall into, I guess the word would be this morning, it's okay to not fit somewhere. You move on and you go find the other fit. But this whole sequence of what's next for Michigan football, what are they going to do without Josh Gattis? What are they going to do without Mike McDonald, honestly, is more concerning for me.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Guy's going to be a defensive coordinator in the NFL next year.
He'd be hell of
and
one,
in 2-3 years, he'll probably be a head coach in the NFL, to be honest with you. You guys want to talk about future coaches in the NFL?
That's one right there.
Mike McDonald. Patrick Graham. Mike McDaniel, but he just got hired, so.
Kind of like Brandon Staley.
Oh my God. By the way, do you guys know who Mike McDaniel is? Do you know what an OG he is? Have you guys ever seen the Mike Jones video of him? I'll have Alex get it during the break, don't worry. All right, I have a video to show you guys. This guy is an absolute legend. Absolute legend. But I do want to finish the Josh Gattis to Miami breaking news with this. I'm not worried about Michigan football. They'll figure it out. They'll bring in somebody. Done deal. Nothing to worry about. Are they losing the program? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Welcome to life. People explore different opportunities. And when they feel they have a higher ceiling than what's being delivered at their current employer, they are likely to leave you. Oh, no. Oh, he sent a text message out. Excuse me? Excuse me? The smoking gun report. Josh Gattis gone. What a joke. If that's what the news is, I'm not even worried. Like it's a big bunch of nothing to me. It really is.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine, Jeff. Josh Gattis leaves. How many wins do you think they have next year? 8 home games.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably if close to 10. No excuses. If not 10. So yeah,
Nothing's changing.
Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing.
Jesus Christ. We got to go to break. When do we get back? I have a special video for you because clearly you guys have never watched it before. Alex, when we get to break, could you search Mike Jones, Mike McDaniel?
I know he is hilarious, but I haven't seen that specific
not
video.
only hilarious, by the way, he has a great story. Sober now, I want to say for 5-6 years. No alcohol. Great guy. Smokes a ton of weed, but it's all good. My kind of head coach.
You can tell if you hear him talk.
My kind of head coach.
Yeah.
My kind of head coach. Maddie, we got to go to break.
All right, guys, we got to talk about MyBookie first.
All right, MyBookie, the place to be putting your bets this week for the Super Bowl. Guys, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, prop bets, the spread. You want to take the money line? Hell, you want to do a same-game parlay. Be my guest and do it on MyBookie. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. Sign up today using code Woodward, and they'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. Hell, you want to make it interesting and put in a super amount, if you know what I'm referring to. Put in $560, they'll match you $560. Dollar for dollar match at MyBookie. And remember, if you have a problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year we present the 2022 Cupid Sunday Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid Sunday Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Centron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. It's getting a little hostile in here this morning. We're fighting over videos.
Adam's getting attacked.
It's about time.
I am being attacked by the people in this room, off screen, off camera, when the mics are muted.
You deserve it, though.
Shut the hell up, Fish.
You ask for too much.
It was a courteous question. I wasn't demanding anything. Whatever. What's fault do we have the video, my friend? Can we play? Get your headphones on, bro. You're going to want to hear this. This is, in my opinion, why Mike McDaniel is not only a head coach in the NFL.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud.
But why he'll be a successful head coach. Now, this may be the worst logic in the history of logic. But again, this guy is my hero. When I saw this video, my heart, I can't explain the feeling I had inside of me. Alex, please play that video.
What is it about Debo?
Who?
What's up, man?
Mike Jones, let's go. What's up?
Play it on loop.
What is it about Debo?
Who?
What's up, man?
Mike Jones, let's go. What's up?
Mike Jones!
What is it about Debo?
Who? Mike Jones, let's go. What's up?
That is a guy who has.
That is my head coach.
Yeah, that's a guy who the media is gonna have a lot of fun with.
Oh my God,
Mike Jones.
Oh my goodness.
He's so cool about it. What to do?
That's why he got the job. I don't know if you guys noticed. I had nothing to do with his credentials.
Does that look like a guy who'll take 100,000 to lose?
Hell no.
No.
That's a low blow, man. That's a low blow. That's too soon, Jeff. Way too soon to use that one.
I love it. No, listen, Mike McDaniel, man, he's a stud. I've seen clips like this on social media. It's making me laugh, but I didn't see the Mike Jones one.
Have you seen him at the quarterback camp?
I did. Yeah. I saw a clip.
He's
through.
no joke.
No.
Educator, can communicate. Kind of the outside of the box thinker that you want.
Yeah, he's coaching everybody.
Look, to be honest with you, my feeling on the hire, just to get it out of the way, I love him. Hate the situation he's walking into. What is he going to do with Tua?
Yeah.
Is Tua the guy? Again, you don't take that job without saying, all right, one, I'm going to believe in this quarterback, or two, we're moving off. So we'll see how it plays out. But, Maddie, we got to start the new start for the Detroit Lions. We're going to start it off with one simple question. And I want Jeff to open this up.
Okay.
Are the Cincinnati Bengals proof that the Detroit Lions can get it done?
No.
Jeff, the floor is yours.
No, they're not. Well, listen, no, because the easy answer would be like, yeah. We go draft a guy like Joe Burrow. Anything's possible.
Jeff, guess what? We're in the driver's seat.
We're in the driver's seat, Fish. But no, the reality is, if we're gonna be realistic for a second, we talked about how much of an anomaly it is that the Bengals were able to do this. Not just that, but Joe Burrow being one of the only quarterbacks in NFL history to be selected number 1 overall and now be in a Super Bowl his second year. So it's highly unlikely. Now, can you take notes from it? Of course. You can see how the Bengals, they found their head coach, and now they weren't winning with their head coach, but once they got their quarterback, once they landed, Jamar Chase, they already had T. Higgins, they signed guys that knew how to win. Of course. The Bengals wanted to become a winning organization again since Marvin Lewis. So they went out, they got winners. They got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, LSU, winners. They got T. Higgins, Clemson, winners. They went out, got Von Bell, Trey Hendrickson, winning organizations, winning cultures. So they succeeded. They got to the Super Bowl. They got all the guys they wanted to in their locker room. Zach Taylor seems to be, so far in his first season with Joe Burrow fully, he's a hell of a head coach, 10-7, won his division. So do you want to see the Lions take notes? Of course, but to say they can mimic what the Bengals have been able to do, nobody in the NFL is going to be able to mimic this exact way the Bengals have been able to win, because we discussed this. What if Joe Burrow doesn't tear his ACL? What if he plays the entire season healthy? They get 7-8 wins that season. They're picking anywhere from 12 to 17. So at that point, you're not selecting a Jamar Chase. Are you trading up to select a Jamar Chase? No, probably not, because the team who wants him is going to take him. So the Bengals I don't want to say you got to have a little luck, of course, but they did get a little lucky. They were very strategic in how they approached it, especially in the free agency and acquiring more guys on defense, and it worked out for them. So to say no, I don't think the Lions can mimic it, but it does show that to evaluate any head coach, you got to get your quarterback right. So that probably is the first step for them. They have Jared Goff, a middle-of-the-pack quarterback, a very guy who can keep your ship afloat, but if you're going to want to take that next step and win the 10, 11, maybe 12 games that maybe the Bengals are going to be able to do the next couple of years, going to have to add a lot of talent like the Bengals have been doing. So a lot of good drafts, good free agency pickups, and look where they are now. So from a Lions fan, I'm definitely on the outside looking in and seeing what I can take from it in terms of what the Lions can do. But no, Adam, to say they can mimic it, I think you're blinded by the light. You're blinded by the light a little bit.
So if you'll give me 6 minutes, I would like to really, and this is probably the most honest I could ever be with you. I'm going to tell you why this idea that the Bengals can do it, so can the Lions. Yeah, but that's not the hill to die on. Now, if you want to ask me a straight-up question, Adam, can the Detroit Lions do what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing right now? I can answer yes. Of course they can. If you draft correctly, you get in the right head coach, you eventually get the quarterback, or you stick with Goff, who knows what ends up happening. It can happen. That is a possibility. But the idea that, because the Bengals did it, the Lions can. Do I have to remind you the Bengals made the playoffs for 6 straight years not too long ago?
Yeah. They had a winning.
And they won multiple divisions under Marvin Lewis. This was not some flaky franchise. It was just a cheap one. And they were still winning games. It was a cheap franchise winning football games under Marvin Lewis. They entered their first rebuild in about 15 years. And what do? 3 years in, they get to the Super Bowl. Again, anomaly, Joe Burrow, second-year quarterback, getting to a Super Bowl as the number 1 overall pick. Again, that's anomaly. Data point, tough to match. Having said that, your history, Detroit, and Cincinnati's are two completely different stories.
Yep.
In one playoff, like, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. The only common denominator you could argue with me was that I believe Detroit's last playoff won 91, the Bengals 90?
Yeah.
It was a 1 year difference, I believe. The Bengals had the longest playoff drought up until this season. That, I'm on board with you. That is the singular common variable in this entire discussion. But in terms of franchise over the last 58 years, no, Bengals were in the have been to Super Bowls.
Yeah.
This is their third Super Bowl appearance. So be cautious a little bit in how we go about saying, well, if this team can do it, so can we. If the Browns can do it, so can we. Like, think about history a little bit. If you don't learn from history, it'll just repeat itself over and over and over and over and over again. So, yes, are the Bengals proof that the Lions can do it? Sure. So can any other NFL team. The NFL is built for every team.
And teams have tried.
In 3 to 4 years to have a winning team. It is the way it is built. Through salary cap and through the draft, you are able as a bad franchise to turn your team around in 2, 3, 4 years. It is a common thing in the NFL. We went 10 straight years, I believe. We're the team that finished 4th in the in the NFC South. Won the division the following year. What the hell does that tell you? The NFL is built for teams to turn it around when they're bad.
Yep.
It is not made for you to suck for an extended amount of time. The NBA is made for you to suck for an extended amount of time. Why? Because if you miss on the number 2, number 3 overall pick, you are... I don't even need to say it.
And I would also argue that markets matter more in the NBA.
Yes, and the players have more control in the NBA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the NFL, the teams have the control. The coaches, the GM.
Yep.
That's where the control is. Outside of maybe, the quarterback position? But you can franchise tag the hell out of them anyways. So that is my problem. With are the Bengals proof? No, they're a data point in history that I think we'll all appreciate. But you have to remember the last 10 years, I would say 11, 12 years. They've been to the playoffs 6 times. Yeah. The Lions twice. Oh, the Lions have won a division how many? Oh. The Bengals have 5.
In a tougher division.
With the Ravens, the Steelers, and now the Browns who are kind of competent.
Different situations.
That's what kills me the most. I hope you understand what I'm saying this morning.
Yeah.
The Lions can absolutely achieve success. It is not a curse. It all comes down to competency, making good decisions for the franchise. Brad Holmes last year made multiple good decisions. Now, can you get the quarterback in the door? Is the head coach the right guy? We'll see how it plays out. Any team can do it. Any team can do it. Don't we consider the Tampa Bay Buccaneers an anomaly? A team that was 9-7, 8-8, middle of the pack, Jameis Winston. They had a stacked core of, I would say, weapons. But, hey, they were missing a quarterback. The head coach was kind of sketchy. Tom Brady, Bruce Arians, the rest is history. They won a Super Bowl. But you don't associate that as a replicable data point. Why? Or a repeatable data point. Why? Because it's Tom Brady going to that team. And he is an anomaly in and of himself. So that is kind of the message I hope I was able to deliver this morning. There's a big difference between building success, replicating it, and sustaining it. There are huge differences. Maddie, we got to go to break.
All right, guys.
I'm out of breath.
When we come back, we're talking about the Pro Bowl. Should the NFL get rid of it? But first, we need to hear about the Folding Warehouse.
All right, guys, the Folding Warehouse. Let me tell you. Challenge has not been accepted yet. It's okay. I'll let it slide. But the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck is a great time. I'm actually heading there this Saturday.
Oh.
Yep, taking the wife. I'm going to, show
You
her
going for that $2 mystery beer machine?
Since I've impressed my wife.
You warming up for our challengers?
I guess you can call it that.
All right.
We'll see if they
if
they show up.
You doing that
If they show
$2
up.
mystery beer machine?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I'll make an extended offer.
Oh.
All right? If the morning show is able to get 200 likes, let's say today.
Okay.
And on the bottom line, you guys are able to get them 250 likes.
Oh.
I will drag Braylon and Ryan by their hair to the Folding Warehouse. And we'll get it done. And we'll get it all on film and we'll play back on the show.
And it has to be today's show, right?
Yes, today's show.
And
But anyways, back to Folding Warehouse. I want to show them some love. Visit them at foldingwarehouse.com. That's foldingwarehouse.com. Again, in Hamtramck. $2 Mystic Beer Machine, over 100 beers in the facility. Bring in your own food or have it catered. They do it all. Guys, check them out. Great people, supporters of the network, the Folding Warehouse.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We had the Pro Bowl yesterday, guys, but a lot of people are asking the question, should the NFL even have the Pro Bowl anymore?
Hell no! Two-hand touch? God damn it, just send me out there if we're going to do that. No. F the Pro Bowl. Get rid of it. Make it skills competitions only. Nobody wants to watch
I love the
a
skills
walkthrough, a
competition.
watered-down walkthrough. I've seen walkthroughs more physical than that.
Yeah, a lot of people were tweeting that. It
I
was
am
bad.
not interested in a Pro Bowl for the NFL. I just think it's too violent of a sport to even have a Pro Bowl. It's not like the NBA where you can kind of
Yeah,
get
you
away
can
with
just
it and
play and
entertain.
have fun with it.
So just get rid of the Pro Bowl. There's nothing you can do to... I mean, if you want to make it a Pro Bowl between high school players and it's coached by NFL players, hell, I don't care. Come up with some creative idea, Jeff. I don't care. But I don't want to see NFL players on a field and call it a Pro Bowl. Just make it like a list. Hey, you made the Pro Bowl this year. Congratulations.
Yeah, put it on
It's
your
part
resume.
of your resume.
Yeah.
That's it. Just like the All-Pro. It's not an event. It's just something recognized. Make the Pro Bowl something recognized because I think it's a beautiful thing. I am so done with even attempting to watching it. I literally turned on the channel. I saw Jonathan Taylor on a dump pass. It was actually an onside, was it a 2-point conversion? Or it was an onside attempt, 4th and 15. They dumped it off to Jonathan Taylor. This guy runs 9 yards without anybody touching him, and they're all like just two-hand touching him. And after I watched that, I turned off the TV, I walked outside, and I just face-planted myself into the snow. Stupid. Jeff, what the hell are we doing about the Pro Bowl?
Listen, I actually agree with you. The ratings are getting worse, and in a sport like football, it is very violent. It's tough to have an actual all-star type game, and like the NBA. My suggestion would be this, and see how... I mean, let me get your opinion on this. Everyone can answer in this room. First thing, what if the Pro Bowl added team captains? And listen, and the two-hand touch thing is ridiculous. Like, to watch a Pro Bowl that's two-hand touch, you've seen walkthroughs more physical. It's a tough argument. But the NBA had to change their All-Star game. The ratings, they stopped trying in the All-Star game for the NBA. It got that bad. And when they added the team captains aspect, where you had two team captains, they were able to select their teams. It made it a little more interesting. They brought more viewers in. I think that would help the Pro Bowl a little bit. Now, if you want to take away the game completely, I'm not going to argue with you because if I'm being honest, didn't watch the Pro Bowl either. I watched part of the two-hand touch. I watched all the skills competitions, but I didn't watch the Pro Bowl. So my suggestion would be, team captains. What do you think?
Yeah, for the NBA thing, you got to add that 2020 they added the 24 points for the fourth quarter for Kobe.
Yep.
That made it a lot more interesting because the first three quarters were the normal NBA All-Star game. Oh, I'm just going to shoot from 95 feet out. And then the fourth quarter was actually we're going to play like an NBA final.
But you can at least entertain an NBA. You can't do it in the NFL. So, no, we're not doing flag football. We're not going to do two-hand touch. Because I swear to God, if I tear my ACL or I twist my ankle or something goes wrong from just running full speed trying to have fun, not a good look.
Speaking of the skills...
What about also, what if the NFL, and listen, I'm just throwing things out there, seeing if they're stick. I just want to see people's opinions. What if they tested out new rules? What if they had new rules they want to implement in the NFL and they tested it out in the Pro Bowl?
Well, that's what they did. They did it with the onside kick. It was a 4th and 14 attempt.
So just load it up with guinea pig ideas.
Yeah, but
team captains.
They're not trying, so it's not even a good sample.
Yeah, it's not going to.
No, it's on the players.
Trying.
It is.
It's not on the players. If I was a Pro Bowl lineman, I would literally stand up.
Not to mention they were switching around players, like positions and everything.
Trayvon Diggs ran routes yesterday at wide receiver. Like, I am so done with the stupid Pro Bowl.
I don't know if you guys saw AJ Cole's interview during the game as well, but that was hilarious. I loved that.
The last good Pro Bowl was when Sean Taylor almost murdered a punter. That was the last. That was when the Pro Bowl died.
I don't think there's anything to save this Pro Bowl. It's tough.
It sucks.
At the end of the day,
it sucks. It's not even watchable.
At the end of the day, to say, did I watch it? No. So it's not like it's bringing me back. And they already tried the team captains thing. That didn't work. Now they're going to implement guinea pig things. That ain't working. So at this point,
it's two-hand touch football. I rather
two-hand
watch.
Touch. Yeah.
God, at this point, give me kindergartners out there and have them play tackle football.
Yeah.
It's better than watching what I watched yesterday.
It's honestly, I don't think there's really an answer because it all comes down to the two-hand touch thing. Like,
they're not going to play. It's a physical sport. This isn't baseball.
I know.
This isn't basketball. Hockey, you can get away with it a little bit. Just skate casually and get shots on target. In the NFL, you got to tackle somebody. What, you just touch them? Go down. Wow. Entertaining. People watch football because it's a violent sport. It's fast-paced.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult. The Pro Bowl is a mockery. Just do skills challenges. You want to have, I don't know, Kentucky Fried Chicken for everybody? Go for it. I don't give a crap. You want to have some mac and cheese out laying out on the side, some ice cream, some donuts? Great. Do me a favor. Never host it in Vegas, by the way. I am guaranteeing you right now, in the lifetime, the new Detroit Lions will be the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders will never win a playoff game, let alone a Super Bowl, in the next 30 years. Until they seriously change how they act and how they go about their city. And yes, it is Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, Alvin Kamara, it doesn't. Well, Henry Ruggs, it doesn't. Do I have to go on the names of people? And it'll only continue. And you'll continue to lose coaches, assistants, players, managers. Because of the environment you're in Vegas. It's unbelievable. I can't believe this is actually a thing. I really can't. Get rid of Vegas and get rid of the Pro Bowl.
Okay,
there's my suggestion.
Their hockey team seems to do just fine.
Hockey teams are different, Fish. It's an 82-game schedule. You're traveling half the time. And to be honest with you, the locker room environment of a hockey locker room is so different than a football locker room. And they get paid way less than NFL players.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it's a totally different mindset.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really have sympathy for those players in Vegas. Because if Max Crosby and Darren Waller can survive out there with former, previous addictions, like those guys are doing just fine. And it's tough, I bet. It's worse on them, but... I mean, Alvin Kamara...
It's not a problem with the individual, Jeff. It's a problem with the environment. If I threw you out
I'd be fine.
No.
Because it depends on the individual. But yeah, go on.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
If I put you out in the worst town in the United States.
Okay.
And you had to live there for 3 months.
Yep.
I promise you, and by 3 months, you'd be a drug dealer.
Oh my! No,
Adam, deal.
No, I would not.
I promise you, to survive, yeah, you would.
Okay, so now you're saying I have to be a drug dealer to survive. Like,
I'm just saying, you are a product of your environment. If I put you up in, I don't know, the UP, and I told you have to live in the woods in a cabin secluded
then I would
from
live
the
in the
whole
woods because you told me to
Then
live
you
in the
would
woods.
live in the woods, and you would learn how to learn how to kill your own food, cook it, except.
Because
What?
if you told me go to the UP and do whatever you wish, I would not.
And if
be
you
living
lived
the
in
damn
Vegas, you would be prone to be going out with your friends at
I
night.
don't go. Listen, well,
You,
personally,
if
I'm
your
not.
buddies
I
asked
don't
you
really
to go out, one of those nights you would say yes. You wouldn't say yes often, but you know what? The night you do say yes, you're going to be put in situations you can say you're ready for, but most people aren't.
That's. I want to say it's sad, but that's sad. That listen, I'm not even. Listen, me in a strip club, everyone would be staring at me. They'd be like, "Why is this kid in here?" But at the same time, I feel like I would handle myself a lot better than a lot of these pros. So I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. It is a problem, but it is on the individual. You have a choice. So if you want to go out there and touch some booties, then go ahead. But you're gonna end up paying the price.
Oh man,
You're gonna end up paying the price.
What do we do with Vegas?
Listen, I got nothing on this topic at all.
I don't think you survive Vegas.
No, I don't think I survived Vegas.
I think,
either.
what, 2 nights?
What?
I think 2 nights.
2 nights? That's all you're going to give me?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think you last more than 2 nights living downtown.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Yeah, I know for sure. You know what we should do? We should do a morning Woodward show trip to Vegas.
Yes.
And we should reenact Hangover.
Fish.
Fish? Do you want to know which character you are?
If you lost.
Anybody want to take a wild guess who Fish is?
Take a wild
Maddie?
guess.
I think.
Come on, take a guess.
Just say it. I want Fish to understand.
Who's Fish, Jeff?
He'd be the Chinese dude.
Hell yeah, he would. Hell yeah,
he goes,
would.
hell yeah, he would.
Hell yeah, he would. Fish would totally be the foreigner.
Yeah, he would.
I would sell fish on the black market if we went to Vegas.
Of course you would. That doesn't shock me.
I would put you in some prostitution ring or something, Fish.
Cool. Good talk.
I'm probably going to get arrested for half of the stuff that I say on this show,
Whoa.
to be honest with you.
Listen.
Joe Rogan's trying to get canceled.
He
Maybe
is.
I'm next.
Maybe.
By the way.
Uh-oh. Joe Rogan?
Here we go.
F everybody. Just middle fingers to all of you right now crapping on Joe Rogan.
You know who they are.
Oh, I know who they are.
Okay.
They all kick rocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, you're not canceling him. 2, just shut the hell up.
Canceling's fake, man. I hate
Cancel.
that word.
Well,
Can't
it's not
cancel.
fake.
Can't
It
cancel
is.
nobody.
It is a real thing.
You
but
can suck my
it
asshole
sucks.
is what
Oh,
they can do.
Boy, okay.
And make sure you edit that out, by the way.
Yeah, I will. I'm
That's what you can
sending
do.
it to Justin
That
right
was,
now.
that was
Jesus.
rightfully said right there.
Jesus
I got
Christ.
no
We got to go to break. When do we get back?
Go to break. Should end the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man. All right. We're a little bit off topic
Happy
right
Monday.
now. Let's get back. Let's get it all back together. All right. We got to go to break. When we get back, Chet Holmgen played a hell of a game on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I watched every minute of it. Should the Detroit
No.
Pistons. Hey, we talk so much lines. It's a tongue twister. Anyways, Jeff, should the Pistons pursue Chet? Is there somebody else on your list that you think is more valuable? We'll get to that after the break. Maddie?
Yes, first we need to talk about Planet Fitness.
All right. Planet Fitness is your home of a judgment-free zone. The judgment-free working environment for you and even your friends or family, guys. Check them out. Sign up today. 0 down, $10 a month. And remember, in 2022, and really always going forward, your fitness is essential. I cannot stress that enough. Your fitness, take it so seriously. Mental and physical health. Take 2022 seriously. Take yourself seriously. Sign up for Planet Fitness. Start the year off on the right note. We're in February. It's not too late. Start developing good habits. And as always, remember, Planet Fitness, home of the judgment-free zone. We'll see you after the break.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Detroit Sports on Demand.
Jabari Swift. He's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Opening the corner, he tripled.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app today. Take us with you everywhere you go. Search Woodward Sports Network or WSN Live.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Chet Holmgen had a great game on Saturday night. Jeff, I'm opening up this one to you. Did he sell you on draft stock for the Pistons?
Listen, nobody can sit up here and say he's not the most talented player in this draft class. Like, you can't. Like, the guy is 7-footer. You can talk about his frame, and I would tend to agree with you. But look at the production. 7 foot. He's the only player, I think, in college basketball history, 70% at least from 2-point, 40% from 3, and averaging at least 3 blocks. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. So you're telling me this is a center who can not only space the floor, he can at times handle the ball, it seems like, and he can defend the rim. I mean, if we're talking about fits for the Detroit Pistons, clearly we need a center, and the fit is there. My questions, and I always like to look at floor and ceiling. So with floor, Jabari Smith to me has the highest floor. And that's if Chet has probably the highest ceiling, but that's if you're banking on Chet to work out, which he probably will. I just think the less than 200 pounds at 7 foot does concern me. Now, will he be able to add weight? Of course. But that doesn't always work out with guys. They can't add weight. They really, like KD, for example, worked out for him, destroyed guys on the perimeter. He still does to this day. His game will translate and will translate till he's almost 40 years old. With Chet, he's a center. He's going to play in the paint. He's going against.
So are you taking him or Jabari?
Well, I was going to get there. But I was elongating it. But
yes. You're good. I'm curious, though.
No, but listen, at the end of the day, if I'm taking 1 or 2 and I had to pick, I'm going Jabari because I feel like, listen, the guy's 6'10", and he's top 10 in blocks, he's top 10 in rebounds, and he's top 10 in three-point percentage. So you're telling me I have a guy who's similar in height, bigger frame, he's a better defender on the perimeter, and can hit outside shots, of course. And obviously being a father of a former NBA player, he has those raw skills already there. Chet, to me, if he hits his ceiling, Chet is going to be a problem in the NBA. The risk is there for me, and maybe that's why I'm leaning towards Jabari, but I'm not going to sit up here and lie to everyone's face and tell you that Chet isn't the all-time highest ceiling in this draft class. But at the end of the day, for me, 6'10", Jabari Smith, as a fit, I like him, but all-around player, Chet, man, you cannot, especially the game he had the other day. What do you have the other day against, what do you have? I'm trying to look right here. Oh, yeah, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks. Like, that's probably the most complete game, definitely the most complete game he's had all season. So it's tough for me. It's a toss-up, but I'm going to lean towards Jabari a little bit.
Look, I've seen players like Jabari not work out in the NBA.
But listen.
How many times have you seen a prospect like Chet? The last time, frame, ability
maybe
to handle.
Not this, but also a lot of the time when you see guys like Chet, they have the size. So maybe that's the. I haven't seen a guy that small come out of college. So maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Since KD, you haven't seen somebody so lanky.
But KD never played around the post as much as Chet.
Of course not. But Chet also
he can space.
Shoots 65% from 3 over his last 10 games. Like,
he can hit it.
He can handle the rock. He can shoot it. I'm not saying he's going to play a small forward. He's probably a stretch, big / post up guy. But
yeah.
Beyond the point, I'll tell you why I fall in love with Chet.
Mm-hmm.
Plays the right way. I get a guy that is not relying on pure athleticism. How many times has athleticism failed NBA players? You need to develop a jump shot. And look, Jabari Smith.
It's not just athleticism.
He can shoot the rock.
He can shoot the rock.
And you know what? To be honest with you, if the Pistons are able to take Jabari Smith and they take him over Chet, I would not sit here and say, well, we messed up. I wouldn't. But right now, sorry, I'm in love with the white boy.
The ceiling's attractive, man. Like, that ceiling scares me.
Look, again,
it's crazy.
Whether you want to compare him to Kristaps Porzingis, I don't care who the comp is. What I look at in Chet Holmgren, he runs the court really well.
Mm-hmm.
He can take the ball up the court for you, which causes an abundance of problems for the defense because they're never, ever really set.
Yeah.
He can get better with the pick and roll action. I mean, it's kind of weak right now, but look at his frame. I don't expect him to be, a menace with the pick and roll. But he has a unique ability, and I would call him kind of like a wormy.
Yeah.
And
how
he gets rebounds. Yeah. He doesn't overwhelm you with power, size.
Mm-hmm.
He overwhelms you with his basketball intelligence. And that's what I'm really starting to fall in love with this kid. And he's a freshman. And so is Jabari Smith. Who knows? When we talk about ceilings, I mean, I think they're both 1 and 1A and, I don't know, 1 and 1A in terms of ceiling. Either way, I could care less. They're both really good. But I'm a Chet guy right now. I could change it by March Madness, but I'm sorry. After watching the game Saturday, and I've been paying attention. Game Saturday, I mean, he just looked, you could just tell. I can see that happening on an NBA court.
And imagine him in the pick and roll with Cade. Like, that would cause problems for teams. Like,
And
you don't know who to...
Imagine the amount of space you would give Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and yes, Cade Cunningham to drive to the rim. And if the center or the power forward, depending where you play him, if they come off and help, you dish out to the stretch four, who right now is shooting 45% from three in college? Please. I like Chet a lot. And again, does Jabari play a stretch four role? I don't see that.
I do.
I see him playing really as a three.
Because he's 6'10", 220. I think he's got the size and the length, at least, to guard
But that's
fours.
like a modern small forward in today's NBA, to be honest with you.
But also small ball is getting more... I mean, not small ball, but he could...
Yeah, you
Jabari
can play him at
Smith,
the four,
6'10",
but is he someone who's going to play with his back to the basket?
Probably not. No, probably not.
So you're relying
Perimeter.
on getting him the ball at the perimeter, running pick and roll with him, and letting him take advantage of his athleticism. And you see where I'm...
Yeah,
see where my problem is?
Yeah.
How does he work on a team like the Detroit Pistons? I have enough people who need the rock in their hands. I have a spot-up shooter, ideally, who turns into a spot-up shooter in Sadiq Bey. Killian Hayes handles the ball. Cade handles the ball. You bring in Jabari Smith. Well, how is he going to get his points? Is he going to be running off the ball, getting jump shots up? No. That's not his game. His game is similar to Cade's, and he needs the ball, and he needs to control the offense.
And that's kind of Jabari Smith. His whole thing with me is he might not be the best passer out of all these guys. I mean, he only averages 1.8 assists. He is a catch and attack guy, either off the dribble, off the catch, or he's by the rim. So yeah, I get your point. More complete, Chet. Like, he had 6 assists. Like, the guy has shown more,
and he plays in a better system. I mean, Gonzaga.
Like Jabari's playing less than 30 minutes a game right now. Obviously, Chet is a big time player for Gonzaga. So there's differences. I think Jabari's ability to defend the perimeter is better. I like his defense. So you're selling me more on the upside, I would say, with Chet.
Yeah, look, for me, it's the offense. It's the offense. It's the offensive intelligence.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, on defense, he's no slouch either. He's not getting pushed around often.
Yeah.
He's getting a few blocks a game.
Yeah. 3-point-something blocks is pretty impressive.
So, look, what I'm trying to look at is fit. How do the Detroit Pistons play with Jabari Smith? Can they make it work? Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. And you know what? We're going to have Ku Khalil on from Locked On Pistons, by the way, on Wednesday.
Can't wait.
And I want to ask him this very question. Who is the better fit? From my vantage point, it's Chet Holmgen. For you, it's Jabari Smith.
I'll say this. If Jeremy Grant's still here, which by God, I hope he isn't, Chet's the better fit. I think if you're missing that 4 spot,
yeah,
I'll
make sure Jeremy Grant is no longer a Detroit Piston. Don't worry.
If that's the case,
I have 2 bats at home. Each of them.
One was Jelani Tavai. You already used that one. The other one.
That one's retired. I got an additional 2.
Okay.
That one's in the garage, hung up in a case. I got 2 more bats I need to fill out. Russell Westbrook and Jeremy Grant. So
Russell, you always got one for Russell.
Oh, Russell Westbrook got benched. You know what? We got 3 minutes. Can we talk about that real quick? Do you guys mind?
The other night
he got benched in overtime, and I was sitting there. I had company over, so I had it on the TV, but I couldn't pay attention too much. But I had to be courtesy to the company we had over.
Oh my gosh!
And I just turned on the game, and I saw him get benched, and the evil in me turned out.
Yeah.
That evil laugh I have.
Oh yeah.
My laugh came out. I was thoroughly enjoying it. 1 for 10 from the field. Malik Monk looked like more of an all-star.
Austin Reeves was getting more. Oh, he closed.
It was amazing.
They call him
watch.
Hillbilly Kobe. Austin Reeves.
This again is a voted MVP.
Yeah.
This is a guy you want to tell me is a top 10 player all time at point guard.
He was my MVP that year. I can't lie.
He wasn't for me.
He got the triple double. Oh, they were the 7th seed.
Oh my god.
You fucking losers.
Listen, Russell, though, how embarrassing. He hasn't been in the last couple games closing lineups.
He's a scrub.
If you're a superstar and you're not in a closing lineup, you have to rethink.
He
your title.
needs to be self-aware enough to say, you know what? I need to give effort. That's all I can give to this team. I can't score. I can't shoot. Every 7 nights, maybe I can have a night where I score 25, 30 points. But other than that, I'm going to rebound. I'm going to drive the basket and dish out, and that's it. I'm not going to shoot a single shot outside of 4 feet. That's what Russell Westbrook needs to do.
Did you see him spot up for the three-point shot? And all Lakers fans started booing.
Yep.
As soon as he touched the ball, they're like, no, don't shoot.
When
And he shot, it just was an awful.
Towards the end of the fourth quarter. By the way, he's the reason they went to overtime. They had a 5-point lead. New York was falling apart.
Yeah.
What does Russell Westbrook do? He goes to the corner, gets the ball, gives a little, hezzy. Oh, fakes the shot as if like anybody cares if he shoots.
On it, yeah.
He shoots. It's so short. They go down, get an and one. And the Knicks end up going to overtime with the Lakers.
Lakers fans will make me laugh, man. They have no mercy. Every time you touch the ball,
they
they're like,
shouldn't. He should not be in the NBA. I would take Adam fucking Morrison over Russell Westbrook. Give me Darko Milicic. I don't know. Who else can I name off the man? Hell, give me Rodney Stuckey.
Oh, okay. Rodney Stuckey.
Over Russell Westbrook.
Early in his years.
What a fucking loser. Sorry, Fish. Sorry,
Shut
Justin.
up!
Russell deserves it, Fish.
Jesus Christ.
Russell
Westbrook.
God.
Russell Westbrick. Russell West loser. I've got a million of them for you.
What a talent to not have self-awareness. Like that's Russell's
He's
thing.
just a loser.
No self-awareness, man. Like
he's just a loser. And you know who else is going to look like a loser pretty soon? James Harden.
Oh.
Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant's going to start looking like a loser pretty soon.
Might be a
Once
big
it
one.
blows up in New York and like, oh, you left Steph Curry and the best organization in basketball right now for a guy who believes the earth is flat.
Who might not be
and
there.
the Brooklyn Nets. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go. 10 out of 10. Jesus Christ. Some of the people in this world.
Oh, man.
Russell Westbrook.
Anyways, we're going to let you cool down
We
a
should
little
have
bit.
Russell Westbrook on the Pistons. I'll trade 2 unconditional first-round picks for him. We should get him. We should trade for Russell.
Christ.
He'll sell out the LCA.
That'll
we'll
go
be
just
an
as
8
well
seed.
as the Blake Griffin thing went.
We'll be an 8
It
seed and
didn't.
we'll get swept in the first round. But hey,
It
at
didn't.
least he's entertaining. You
So they
freaking
thought that
idiots.
Blake Griffin was going to fill seats in Little Caesars
Yeah,
Arena.
no.
He didn't do that either.
If you suck ass, you suck ass.
I
think we
would
learned
be
that.
waiting outside
It doesn't
Metro
matter.
Detroit Airport with a bat and a crew of people with bats waiting for Russell Westbrook. If he ever showed up in Detroit to play basketball, I would veto Detroit basketball if we ever got our hands on it.
As a Piston or as a Laker? Like
No,
as a visiting
as a
team?
Piston,
Okay.
obviously.
Well, I didn't know if
I
you
don't
do
watch
that
the
for...
Lakers. F the Lakers.
No, but I didn't know if the Lakers played at Detroit and you go out
that's not
there
what
with
I mean.
your
I mean,
bats
if he
out.
was ever a Detroit Piston,
Got
I
it,
would
okay.
revolt completely. I would lose my mind.
Anyways, we're going to move on now. When we come back, we're switching gears back to the Lions. But first, let's hear about the sports marketing agency.
Yes, listen, let me tell you about our friends at the Sports Marketing Agency. SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. And with the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. And soon coming to Woodward Sports, it's the Sports Marketing Agency podcast named This is the F Word series on fentanyl. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, please, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com and please let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year we present the 2022 Cuba Zundy Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We're switching gears back to the Lions. Guys, looking ahead to 2022, which player are you looking forward to seeing the most?
I think the obvious one is Jeff Okudah. I think
Yeah.
we're going to agree on this
Yep.
100%. You want to see him be successful. I don't even care that he was drafted number 3 anymore. I've accepted it in my head.
Yeah, at this point.
Like, it's done with. I'm ready to move on. Having said that, I want to see him contribute to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him make plays. I want to see him play very well in an Aaron Glenn defense. So, yes, I'm rooting hard for the kid. You want to talk about players like I'm looking most forward to? Forget the rookie class. I want to see what Jeff Okudah can do. Because his success will determine a lot about the Detroit Lions this year.
What position?
He's not the make or break, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's going to matter because if he doesn't hit this year, you're going to move off. He's not going to get a second contract in Detroit. He'll probably go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to do the 5th-year option with him. So, yeah, it's a big year for Jeff Okudah. It really is. I don't think there's another player I'm looking forward to and that in terms of maybe Iffy.
Yeah.
Maybe Iffy. Maybe Aquaro comes back. That's about it. I mean,
yeah.
Hawkinson, you want to see him have a full season. I can give you a ton of players, Jeff, but for me, the one that sticks out, I need to see him do something. Or at least I'm hopeful he does, is Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think when I answered this question, I looked at who has the most to gain, who has the most to lose in those type of situations. For me, it's Jeff Okudah. TJ Hawkinson would probably be my second one. I want to see him get over 1,000 yards and be that tight end that we all know him to be. For Jeff Okudah, though, I'm not even going to, like Adam said, I'm not going to get into the point of we took him 3rd overall. It's at this point, it's more about what do we have in Jeff Okudah? Can he be a starting corner in the NFL? Can he have a multiple interception season? That's what I'm looking for. And who else better to coach him than Aaron Glenn? Not even Aaron Glenn, but Aubrey Pleasant. Those guys are hell of coaches, man. They've been doing a good job. Jerry Jacobs, they've done a good job with A.J. Parker. So they've done it. If they can do a great job with unrestricted or undrafted free agents, I would doubt with a guy like Jeff Okudah, who has, I think, already talent. And Jeff Okudah's talented. I'm not going to sit here and say so far he's been a bust because he hasn't been available. And when he has been available, hasn't looked too good. But the consistency hasn't been able to happen for Jeff Okudah. And partially due to that is health. So all I'm asking for Jeff Okudah this year is stay healthy, be productive, and just be a good teammate, man. And that's what we know Jeff Okudah to be. I'm worried about how the injury is going to affect him, but at this point, I just want to see some sort of production.
You know,
I think we'd all take that.
I'll be honest with you. Someone that's torn their ACL twice.
Achilles, he tore. But
yeah, but, I mean, in terms of recovery stage,
Yeah.
you're looking at 6, 12 months, depending on how your body reacts.
Mhm.
I mean, Achilles, we saw Cam Akers come back. I think Okudah will be not only more than fine, but just with modern medicine, we're able to recover faster. We're able to get closer to 100% than we ever have been able to, if not stronger than before. So
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about how does he, quote-unquote, recover from the injury. I want to see him play on the field, man. I want to see him recover on the field.
Yeah,
Make
production.
plays. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Because he had the one interception against Kyler Murray. And
that was it.
That was,
And then the tackle for the loss against DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
that was it.
that was it.
That's all you know about Jeff Okudah.
Yeah.
In his 2 years in Detroit. But I will say there's one more player I do want to bring up. TJ Hawkinson.
I'm so glad you brought it up.
My man, you need to step the hell up this year. And you need to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay healthy. Love ya. Super talented. We can say probably a top 3, top 5 talent
Yeah.
in terms of talent.
I want to see him clips 1,000.
But come on, man.
I do.
I need 1,200 yards this year.
Yeah.
I need 8, 9, 10 touchdowns this year. I need you to really put this offense on your back. And not only on your back, take advantage of the run game and the run support you will have this season. The Lions will rank in the top 10, top 15 in terms of rushing yards per game likely this year with a healthy DeAndre Swift and that backfield. I have full confidence in it. That's the way they're going to play, Jeff. We saw it down the stretch. Do I expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to eclipse 1,000? Yeah, sure. That's a fair expectation. I think it's also fair to expect more out of TJ Hawkinson. You were the number 8 overall pick. You've yet to eclipse 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
You've yet to eclipse double-digit touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the guy with the most to prove outside of Jeff Okudah, Jeff, for me, it's going to be TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you look at guys and look at tight ends around the league, you have George Kittle, who this year, I could argue, had a down year. He finished with 900 yards, and he found a way to get involved. He missed multiple games already. That's a guy that, TJ can embrace that role. You can dominate in the run game. They have to find ways to get him open, of course. And I think whoever the offensive coordinator is, Ben Johnson, he was a former tight ends coach. He coached TJ Hawkinson through his career year when he played his entire season. In 2020, he had 700 yards. He played all 16 games. So if we can get something like that, you place now there's one more extra game. So there's no reason why TJ can't eclipse 1,000 yards. He's too talented. He's going to be an option. I mean, you're going to draft a wide receiver, we're all assuming, maybe sign one. But that's not going to, push TJ Hawkinson down the totem pole. Like Ahmad Ra, TJ, those guys are still going to be. You have Quintez coming back, of course. But TJ's going to be the guy, man. And for him this year, I'm excited. He made one Pro Bowl. I'm expecting him to make another one. He's that talented. And I'm hoping that rapport with Jared Goff builds and builds. So TJ would definitely have to be a close second. But in terms of narrative, who has the most to lose, who has the most to gain, I think it's Jeff Okudah. I love it. So hopefully we can see a lot more out of him this year.
I definitely want to see more out of him, Hawkinson. Even Swift. I want to see Swift play 14, 16, 17 games. Come on.
Yeah, health is a question.
I'm tired of the injuries. And you guys can tell me, Adam, well, you can't be hard on the team if they get injured again. Fine. That is such a fair point. But Jesus Christ, that's part of the game of football.
Yeah.
Everybody's hurt. Teams are missing their players.
Mm-hmm.
You got to recover. And when you have one of, if not the easiest schedule in the NFL this year, you better take advantage of it. That's all I'm saying. You want to talk about building a culture, guys? There's nothing that would propel the Dan Campbell era more than a 9-10 win season. Dare I say they compete for the division.
Yeah. The best.
You want to talk about culture? Go win football games. Go win football games. Not you beat Minnesota at the last second. You beat Arizona. All right. Well, hey, we won the games. We beat the Packers when they rested their players. We won 3 games down the stretch. Okay.
More of those Cardinal wins.
I need wins now on a sustainable basis. Now, you don't go 0-2 against the Bears.
Yeah.
How do you go 0-2 against the Bears? Unbelievable. In a year where they're always going to fire their coach. That is the frustration.
It is.
And we're not talking, the second loss came earlier in the year. No, it's the Thanksgiving. You had more than enough time at home.
And the way they lost. I mean, I was at that game. It was disappointing.
Well, look, we got to go to break. When we get back, mailbag time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, guys. Get your questions ready in the chat. Jeff and I will answer them the best we can. Personal, NFL, basketball, chat, Jabari, doesn't matter. I don't care. Get it in the chat. You want to talk about a hangover?
Drop
Be my
it.
guest. Ask your questions. We'll get to it right after the break.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house.
Hello?
Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Live from Woodward Avenue. That's why we're called Woodward Sports. Detroit's radio sports network.
Listen, guys, we're coming right out of break, and I got an important message to tell you. Lady Jane's, it's so important to a lot of guys like us because, let's be honest, like football 5 days a week, we like things uncomplicated. And like Lady Jane's haircuts for men, you walk in, you sign in, you sit down. And before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 days a week, or 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome. Now we got to get to these mailbag questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to start with this one from Max Smith. How do you think Tampa is going to try to fill their quarterback position? Do you think they draft someone this year or sign a big free agent? I'll tell you exactly what I think Tampa does. I think they blow it up. And my way too early prediction is Tampa finishes with the worst record in the NFL. They start Kyle Trask. They see what they got in him.
Mm-hmm.
If he does suck, they will suck. They will win 2, 3, 4 games, likely have the number 1 overall pick, take Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. At least that's what I'm thinking. Jeff?
Yeah, I see something similar. At the same time, like Tampa, they're in a position right now where they're going to lose a lot of guys. Like those veterans on contract. Sue, you have Chris Godwin who wants a deal. You have Gronk who's retiring. Obviously, Tom retired. Who knows what they're going to do with Fournette? So yeah, rebuild. I smell a rebuild for the Bucs, but honestly, who knows with Bruce Arians? Who knows if Byron Leftwich might be up for that head coaching job? I have no idea, but it's going to be interesting to see if Bruce Arians is going to continue to coach the rebuild. So if they decide to move in that
we'll see
way.
how it plays out. Next question: how did your film study go on Malik Willis? I'm not done yet. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish it all this weekend. It took a lot of time, and if you can see behind me, I had to get this TV wall back up and running on Saturday, so that's where most of my other day went. So we have a TV wall. That was pretty important. This was down all last week. I don't know if you guys noticed, but anyways. Back to important things. So far, from what I've watched, I think 3 things stand out to me. And I want to save it because I'm going to put together a whole nice film breakdown of it. Mechanics, release, footwork. 3 things that I immediately noticed with Malik Willis. And that's why they call him a project quarterback. But next question's Riddler or Malik Willis. Jeff, I'll let you answer this one.
Well, I mean, Desmond Ridder, I think a lot of people were high on him, but in terms of if I'm talking who I would draft, it's going to be the guy with the highest ceiling. And listen, and I love Smitty in the chat. He honestly took the words out of my mouth. Ridder is able to start quicker than Willis, and I agree with that. Maybe he's more ready, but at the same time, I think Willis has a higher upside. I mean, the guy is a cannon of an arm. The athleticism's there. Adam talked about the fundamentals and the X's and O's, which he'll be able to figure that out, I think, with good coaching. With Desmond Ridder, I think what you take is what you got in Desmond Ridder. He's a veteran quarterback. He's a guy that might be a backup in the league, may start, but at the same time, I'm taking guys based on ceiling, and to me, that's Malik Willis, despite all the fundamental things.
Okay, I like it. Who will be the head coach of the Red Wings next year? Gerard Gallant or Sergei Fedorov? Please, God, Sergei Fedorov.
Yeah, let's start with that. We'll start with that.
I would lose my mind. I would be so happy, honestly. I would be so happy if it was Fedorov. Ritter is able to start quicker than Willis, depending on the team he goes to. Sure,
yeah,
that's fair. But, guys, after one season, do you think you have seen enough growth or culture/locker room change from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell to give you the confidence that they are at least laying down a foundation of a winning football team?
They got to. Let me answer this quickly by saying they have to win. This year, listen, I love the culture. I love what Dan's done, especially, and culture's so emphasized because of who was here before. Like, if we didn't mess up the Matt Patricia hire and you had somebody who maybe just couldn't coach but wasn't a complete asshole, then yes, you maybe have that discussion. But at the same time, I love the culture they're building, but at the end of the day, you have to win. And this year, if they win 7-8 games and they follow it up the following season with a better season, I can start to buy in, of course. But this year, I can't say that the culture is going to be a big part of changing this entire organization because we've seen it before.
I'll disagree. I think they've shown you enough where you can say confidently, all right, they're competent. They're not going to flake out. They're not going to. It's not a Patricia hire. It's not a Marinelli hire. It's not one of these hires where you're like, what the hell did we just do? I don't think that's the case. But like you said, they have to win now.
Yeah, laying foundation.
Year 1, you lay down the foundation. Year 2, win.
Win. Yep.
Year 3, compete. Year 4, really win. That's how it works in the NFL. So, yeah, they'll only be judged by wins and losses at the end of the day, not how hard they tried or how much people like them.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding the Jeff Blashill, Sergei Fedorov, Gallant thing, realistically, I think Blashill is here next year. I don't think they change. I think he's here one more year. The team is not ready yet to make a run for the cup. I think they're 2-3 years away.
A little premature.
Having said that, when the team is ready to make a playoff push, who's the guy you bring in? Is it an experienced coach that's currently in the NHL? Or is it someone like Sergei Fedorov this is his first year coaching in Moscow?
But you like maybe his upside as a coach.
Yeah, of course, who knows? He could be the Steve Kerr.
You never know.
But I'm not mad either way. I don't think Blashill leaves, though.
Yeah,
I don't think they
get
rid of him. They just re-upped him, too. So it's not going to happen. Let's see. I missed Sean Taylor for the Pro Bowl. Man, Sean Taylor, I'm telling you. Would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer had he been fortunate enough to play his whole career. Let's get some more questions. We got 4 more minutes. The Jimmy G to the Bucks? I don't like that.
Yeah, because I don't think
not a fan.
I like Jimmy G to a couple other teams. Steelers.
Denver.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that situation for Jimmy Garoppolo more.
I think it's just that Tom, Jimmy and Tom are always going to be. I mean, listen, would you like Jimmy to go replace Tom? But the team is going to be different, I think. So I don't think so. But next question, I saw a Killian Hayes question. How would you rank his previous performance? And listen, I think Killian, since coming off the bench, you like what you've seen. And now, he was more aggressive in the other night against the Timberwolves, but at the same time, with this team and with Killian Hayes, my worry is, and we talk about this all the time, it's kind of that Jeff Okudah similar argument, and you took him 7th, but at this point, you just want to see him work out. I really just want to see Killian. Either he becomes that guy off the bench who you can trust, come in, provide, play make for your team and provide minutes, or he's a competent starting 2-guard. I think it's probably leaning towards the bench direction as of right now, but we still don't know. He needs more of a sample size to really grow into whatever ceiling he might have.
I like this question from Max Smith. What do you think is the biggest hole the Wings have right now outside of consistent play? For me, it's 2 things. Zone penetration and their ability to create offense. They do not get enough shots on target every single game. Is one of the most frustrating things I watch every time I watch the Detroit Red Wings. What up, Terry? Every single time.
Definitely.
But their zone penetration honestly has to be one of, if not the weakest in all of hockey. It's pretty bad. The only guy that can skate into the zone and cause a problem on a consistent basis is Dylan Larkin.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me only line 1 can penetrate the zone? The rest of it is waiting on a mistake, countering, dumping the puck, trying to set up from there. But even when they dump the puck and they win the battle on the boards, they still can't get a shot off on target. Wings are extremely frustrating in terms of zone penetration and creating offense, at least from what I see. I don't know what you guys think. Curious what you guys think. 3 touchdowns for Stafford on Sunday. You know what? Speaking of that, guys, for every touchdown Matthew Stafford
God
throws
I'm not
on Sunday,
ready for this.
I will give away $100 on social media.
Oh boy.
What about a pick? Does it subtract anything?
No.
Okay. All right.
And if you win Super Bowl MVP,
oh boy,
I will invite you onto the show, and you can be a guest for one of our
choose
segments.
wisely. Okay.
And you can be a guest for one of our segments. What do you guys think of that? Fair?
So you're saying everyone enter a contest. The winner of that, if he wins MVP.
Yeah, I'll submit the contest rules on my social media on Twitter.
Okay.
So if you guys don't have Twitter, probably make one, and
you got to follow us both.
And follow Jeff and I, just so you can be in touch with the contest details. But yeah,
yep,
we'll come out with a post. $100 for a touchdown. It's not bad. But forget the money. If he wins MVP,
it's a bigger point.
You guys get to come in on that Monday and celebrate with me, and you know what I'm going to be doing.
You
that
can
Monday.
deal with us. Yeah.
So it's going to be that Monday that they're going to be
Monday,
on.
when I am going absolutely ape. You know what?
How many people?
And I'm
is
burning
it?
down this whole fucking studio.
I hate you.
I'm burning it all down.
How many people is it? 1, 2,
I'm going to invite
4?
one person. I think one is more than enough.
That'd be great.
One is enough. I think that's fair. Make it, worth joining the contest for.
Sounds good with me. You know what doesn't sound good with me?
What's up?
Sending your swear word to Justin, you idiot.
Well, that's a you problem and a Justin problem. Sorry. All right, last question before we go to break. Cup for Super Bowl MVP and 161 yards. That would not surprise me. Honestly, if I'm putting my money, it's going on Aaron Donald.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's getting my money this Sunday.
He's going to benefit the most in terms of matchups.
100%.
Definitely.
100%. Yeah, Jake, you need to make a Twitter, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll probably give away $100 for every touchdown. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll up it. I don't know. I'm in a generous mood. The Rams have won me so much money. I should have sent somebody to the Super Bowl. I should send myself to the Super Bowl. Those tickets are way too expensive, though. $4,800, Jeff, is the cheapest ticket right now.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I could go stay in Mexico for 3 weeks. Probably a month, 2 months with that kind of money. Ridiculous. All right, well, that's the end of the show. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us on a Monday. Can't appreciate your support enough. Make sure you drop a like before you head off on YouTube. We, from everybody here on the Woodward Sports Network and on the Morning Woodward Show, thank you for joining us. Have a great Monday. I'm going to go get some blood work done. Jeff is going to go do his hair. And Fish is just going to continue to annoy me the rest of the day.
Do my hair.
Oh, sayonara.